Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel.
Well, right now, I have 3.5 points out of 5. I'm playing quite well, but so far I'm getting quite lucky, and hopefully I play better in the second half of the tournament. But thank you for the opportunity from the interview. But I miss, I miss this atmosphere. The atmosphere in New York, in Wall Street, and maybe I come back to chess next year.
Okay, guys, after you to guess.
This is a very interesting impersonation act. And can you guess who is being imitated? Well, myself, I'm not even sure, but I have my own guesses. But before sharing it with you guys, feel free to leave your own answers in the comments. And the performer here of this whole impersonation act is none other than Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky. Many of you are probably already familiar with him. He is really famous, especially on YouTube and doing all of these commentating things on huge events. While he hasn't been particularly outstanding in classical chess, like he is not as outstanding as Magnus or many other players, but his blitz and bullet skills are extremely incredibly strong, even rivaling those of Hikaru Nakamura. And for those who don't know, Hikaru Nakamura is a super grandmaster who is very strong in classical chess, but also really strong in blitz and bullet chess. And in the recent Bullet Brawl tournament, the Bullet Brawl tournament is a tournament that is held on chess.com. There's the titled Bullet Brawl tournament and the untitled Bullet Brawl. And of course, for those who have titles, they get to play in the Bullet Brawl, like the title Bullet Brawl. And Bullet Brawl is a tournament where it is just simply bullet chess, 1 minute with no increment, and things are going really fast. You're just like playing bullet chess for 2 hours straight. And Dania, he claimed the championship once again. And I mean, although Hikaru this time he didn't participate in the 20 I think it's 26. Yeah, 26 Bullet Brawl if I'm not mistaken. But still, the tournament was still fierce with many strong players in the mix. All right, now today let's read this article and at the same time look at some of the games that Dania played. Naroditsky outpaces Arjun, Nihal, Savian, and wins 26 Bullet Brawl. Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky picked up right where he left off in the previous edition of Bullet Brawl, scoring 233 points and winning Saturday's event in a field featuring the world number 4 Grandmaster Arjun Naragese and 246 other titled players. Starting the year with twin wins, Naroditsky has already netted $800 in prize money and taken his career wins to 26, closing in on Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura's all-time record of 34. Now, Grandmasters Andy Woodward and Andrew Tan rounded out the podium with scores of 211 and 208, respectively, while Turkish women's like WCM Dila Balglu won the $100 Best Women's Prize for the first time. And this is the final standings of the Bullet Brawl. We see like Dania is in first place. We have Andy Woodward in second, Andrew Tan in third, Sam Savian in fourth, and so on. Now, Naroditsky has stamped his authority on 2025's first 2 Bullet Brawls, and despite numerous 2,650 plus FIDE rated players participating in this week's event, the 26-time winner could not be stopped. In terms of FIDE ratings, Arjun, Grandmaster Dmitry Andrikin, Sam Savian, and Nihal Sarin were the top seeds. However, Naroditsky once again proved that bullet chess is a different beast. So, yes, classical chess and bullet chess, they are completely different things because in bullet chess, things are just going really fast. And probably like Danny's advantage is that he can think really fast and his first thoughts were always accurate or better than the others. this is the advantage that he has, but when it comes to classical chess, maybe others have more experience than he does, but it doesn't matter. He is great at bullet chess, and that's that. Alright, so Naroditsky, he kicked off the arena with a consecutive miniatures. The first was a theoretical battle in the Alpine Sicilian, while in the second he whipped up a decisive Greek gift sacrifice against WCM Marianta Lampau, who coincidentally is from Greece. Now, so she is from Greece. Like Dania is playing against someone who is from Greece, and then his opponent fell for the Greek gift. And yeah, let's take a look at this game where Dania is playing with the white pieces against Marianta. So she is born in 2013, as we can see from her name. She only has a chess.com rating of 1900. Of course, comparing to Dania's 3200, it's comparable. We cannot compare these two. But still, at such a young age, and she already has a title, she does have a bright future. And let's see how this game went. Dania started with e4. And just to remind you guys, this is bullet chess, so of course you have to be really fast. e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, bishop c5, we have the Ruy Lopez, the classical defense, c3, knight f6, and d4 takes. And after e takes d4 here, instead of taking on d4 here with c takes d4, which is, possible, but then there's bishop b4 coming, and you might want to play this king f1 move because others are all bad. Now this, of course, you cannot take on e4 because after d5, knight a5 probably, there are some a3 ideas. White is going to get a huge advantage by trapping the minor pieces. But here, however, Dania, of course, he knew this line, and he played e5 instead. And then after knight e4, short castle here, his opponent played short castle. d5 would have been, d5 here would have been the trendiest move in this position, but probably his opponent doesn't know this and instead played short castle. Now the main problem is that this just basically allows white to gain control of the center with c takes d4. And then after bishop b6 back, we have a few normal moves. The bishop retreats back, and here, his opponent played rook e8. Now, title players are not used to their opponents being rated more than 100 higher than them. And Naroditsky his lofty 3200 bullet rating can prompt players to make uncharacteristic errors. So here, d6 would have been it's a quiet move, but that denies white the opportunity to play bishop takes h7, because here if you take on h7, there is now king takes h7, knight g5 probably doesn't really do anything, because after queen h5 now you have bishop f5 to defend, and this is very important. So that is why d6 as a quiet move can deny bishop h7, because it opens up the bishop the diagonal. But instead in the game, rook e8 was played. Then Dania here immediately played the Greek gift, and he played bishop h7 and a Greek gift. None of black's pieces can really assist with the defense of the king once it is pried from its den. And after king takes h7, knight g5, king g8 was played. But now basically, if you go king g6, moving toward the center leads to forced checkmate. After queen d3 here, f5 takes, rook e4, black just must start to throw pieces away to prolong her survival. But for example, here if you take with king f6, there is queen f3, and which leads to mate in 4. After here, king h6, and now it's really important to play this g4 move, a quiet move, but then queen h5 is suddenly unstoppable. And no matter what black plays, queen h5 is coming, and if you go g6, there's queen h7 mate. So this is something that black needs to take note of, and that is why in the game king g8 was played instead. Queen h5 was played, So threatening queen f7 as well as maybe queen h7. And here black played f6. Well, this is just huge, like a terrible mistake. Black must take drastic action to avoid being checkmated immediately. And here the engine just recommends to take on g5, or I don't know, just take on e5, at least, I mean, to throw away some pieces. D takes and still taking on g5. This might still prolong the game, but I'm pretty sure that with material down, Daniel is still gonna win. But after f6, mate is just coming after queen h7, king f8 here, and queen g7 is checkmate. So Daniel won this game in a beautiful way, a Greek gift against a Greek player, like a player from Greece. So this is just a coincidence, of course, but it does also show us that we really need to be careful about these diagonals as well as the Greek gift. There are some situations where it does work, and some situations where the Greek gift doesn't work. But you have to know how to defend and also how to attack. So this is the first game, and now let's go back to the article. It's a rough patch ensured where Naroditsky was unable to build a decent streak, though he soon made up for this by winning 17 straight games. 7 of these were against grandmasters. He faced against Amin Ohayan twice, Sam Savian twice, Jose Martinez, Santiago Avila Bavas, and Nahal. And you see this beautiful streak. All are ending in green results. So like all green. And this is just such a beautiful result. Like Naroditsky's first game against Savian was a chaotic spectacle that saw both kings dance on the knife's edge. The eventual winner eventually found a heaven for his monarch. Now this is the game that we're going to be taking a look at here. So Daniel is with the black pieces, Sam Savian with the white pieces, and he starts with c4. And we have this English opening. Knight c2 was played. Now this is actually kind of dubious. Usually for white, here goes probably like e3 is the best move. But I'm not saying that knight c2 doesn't work, but it's just kind of dubious. And here Daniel, he actually played f5, but this is just like already completely original. And we should note that knight f6 is the most popular move here, but however Daniel didn't play it, and instead he chose to play this not so common move f5, and then knight c3 was played. Then we have a very normal position. The game kept on going with both sides developing their pieces, and here we have b4. This position like somewhat resembles a Dutch defense, if you guys are familiar with it. And the game goes on after c6. This is all fine, no mistakes. d5 here, Daniel took on d5, because if you played something else, anything else doesn't work here, because if he plays knight c5 takes, he'll lose material after, for example, knight d4. The bishop probably has to go back to defend f5, but now after short castle, the d6 pawn is really weak, knight b5 is coming, and probably white is going to be up a pawn or up some material after a few moves. So that is why in the game, black took on d5, the best move, knight takes d5, and here in the game, chaos started to happen after rook c8, and here Sam Savian, he started to make a mistake. He played knight d4. Now, he missed Naroditsky's best response, which is to play rook c5, and that happened in the game. And white's position is actually excellent after short castle, because as the queen can retreat after rook c5 here, and the queen can just safely retreat back to d2, and black's pieces are kind of clunky in some way. But however, in the game, knight d4 was played, and now there's rook c5. The queen cannot go back because it is being blocked by its own knight, and then has to go to b7. But then after knight takes, e takes, white just has a really bad pawn structure. The pawns are all floating, and here after rook a5, defending a7 as well as attacking a2 here, Savian made another mistake and giving black the opportunity to start launching a very deadly attack on the king side. So you see that black is really fast with f4, f3. So white also needs to be really fast here. And white's best move is actually to go short castle, get the king to safety, and now f4, it's possible, but then white will start playing c5, f3 maybe, but f3, white can now just take. This definitely needs a lot of calculation, but as you calculate more and more, you'll notice that white is able to defend and has a very strong attack on the queen side. However, in the game, queen b3 here was played. The idea, of course, behind this move is to go c5, giving this discovered attack, but now black just simply, needs to push f4 because c5 doesn't really do anything. The king just needs to move away and that's it. White doesn't have enough counterplay. But however, in the game, Daniel here, instead of playing just f4, just push the pawn, he instead played d5, which is a miss. And now the position is suddenly, again, white is back into business. First of all, white took on d5, threatening to go d6, king h7, short castle, the king is, both sides' kings are now in safety. Rook a3 was played. Well, rook a3 is not that good. f4 is definitely better. f3 is coming, but rook a3 was played in the game, however, and it's not that bad. Queen b2, queen g6, bishop h5. Well, bishop h5 is already giving white some chances. Well, probably Sevian's idea is to go d6 here. Down by 2 pawns, white attempts to win back material. There is definitely compensation for the pawns here, but then there's this excellent, brilliant move found by Dania, and he played rook h3. And now sophisticated tit-for-tat chess. And instead of passively trying to hold on to his material advantage, where like most players would do, I think, like when you're up material, you just want to keep the material if you're not forced to give them away. And probably for some of you guys who just want to move the rook to a very safe square, for example, to d3, and just, keep the material. But here, rook h3 is the brilliant move. Bishop takes d6 is also possible, and then you can go rook h3, that is. And then go queen g6, for example, king h1, you take the piece, and you start pushing the pawns. However, in the game, rook h3 was played immediately, and since it's a bullet game, so everything is happening really fast, probably, Savian got surprised by this move, and yes, he did. In the game, he immediately started to make a mistake. He played g takes h3. And now, he should have played d takes e7. Well, this is the best move for white, but surviving is still extremely difficult for black. After rook f6, g takes h3, rook g6, bishop g3, f4, it is still extremely hard for white. And also queen b8 is white's only move. So can you really see all of these ongoing variation in bullet chess? I guess no, because it's bullet chess. And then queen f3 is preparing for bishop takes h3 with plans to checkmate white's king. But still, there's rook g3, and if white defends perfectly, black must bail out with 3 full repetition. Although I think at this point, it's really hard for white to defend perfectly. Takes, and if white just does really good, this is going to end in a draw, but it has a really high possibility, in my opinion, for white to defend so accurately. And in the game, Sevian played g takes h3, but then, if here black had played bishop h4, black will just be, having a really big advantage. But instead, Dania, he missed the opportunity with bishop h4, which would have been more precise, but the difference is negligible in bullet chess, and queen b7 was played. Incredibly, black stands better here due to his piece's proximity to the white king. And rook f7 was played, queen a8, and queen h3. Both kings are in danger, but one can hide. And whose king can hide? It's definitely black's king. Well, now actually, in the game, Dania, he played king g6, but it's actually unnecessary to hide the king at this point because white is not threatening anything yet, and the king is kind of safe on h7. You just put the king there, and you just go for something like queen g4, which would have been already winning after a few checks and then getting the pieces out, pushing the pawns, and black is winning though it has to be said that the positional is complicated enough for things to go wrong. King g6 was played, but then the most decisive blunder made in the game, rook h8. And it's all over. White has no threat and should defend his own king instead with rook b3 to get the rook back. But after rook b3 still probably defends everything together. But after rook h8, the queen, the rook are all far away from the action. The king is just way too dangerous. And then after here, queen g4 check first, king h1, queen f3, king g1, f4, queen g8. It's all over. White's best chance here is actually to go rook e8, but it's still completely winning after here. And probably there are some small tricks, but after here, king h1, you just have to go I don't know, e3 maybe here. Yeah, e3 also wins. It's all over. And then the game after, bishop h3, queen h7, and king f6 here. Sevian resigned because he no longer have any checks, and queen d2 is unstoppable. So Daniel won this game, which is a very important win because that meant that, in bullet chess, you keep the streak ongoing and that you get more and more points. So this was a very interesting game. And now Daniel, he kept on playing, and at the very end here, we see that this is the all-time leaderboard of the bullet brawl. And we see that Hikaru is in first place, all-time wins. He won 34 bullet brawls. And Daniel won 25 bullet brawls, but he has the first win in 2025. And you see, before each year, like in 2024 and 2023, Hikaru has 5 extra wins than Daniel does, but this year, Daniel gets the first win. So let's look forward into 2025 and see whether Daniel can win more bullet brawls this year than Hikaru, or, Hikaru is still gonna win 5 more extra bullet brawls than he does. It's something that is unpredictable, but of course, this bullet brawl tournament is something really exciting to watch. And also, we have Daniel Naroditsky here, one of the strongest bullet players. So anything can happen in bullet chess, as we say. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video as well as these two games. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!